Show.
Hey, g'day, Will. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you doing this evening, Figsy?
Yeah, really good. Thanks for asking. Welcome to episode number 20 of the PlayStation Collectors podcast.
Number 20, the big 2-0. Never thought we'd make it past 7. But here we are. I keep
Yeah,
saying
really exciting. I think we've got almost 10 shows planned after this. So, big things for the PlayStation Collectors podcast. We're
oh,
on the eve of the World Cup, so I'm pretty excited, that's for sure.
what's that?
This, I'll say the Football World Cup, but for our American viewers, the Soccer World Cup.
Oh, okay. Is the United States a contender?
Yeah, the United States are a contender, and they've actually got a pretty decent team. So, you guys should support your team definitely.
Go USA. These World Cup these soccer do these teams have names, or is it just the country?
So like Australia is called the Socceroos. I know certain countries have got nicknames, but unless you're from that country, you probably just know them as that country.
Did you say the soccer ruse?
Yeah, we name all our teams after different animals. So.
That's fucking. I guess for the United States school shootings. I guess that's what we're going to call our team.
Oh god, let's not go there. So, episode 20, guys. Today we have my friend Chris Weeks coming on the show. Now, Chris is an Australian collector. He's got well over 5,000 PlayStation games and over 100 consoles. So this should be a really interesting discussion. So please welcome Chris to the podcast. G'day, Chris. How's it going?
Hi guys.
Hey, what's up, Chris? 100 consoles? I missed that
Oh, I
tidbit.
don't know. Yeah, Figsy was just asking me how many consoles I thought I had across the board. And I just threw a number. I don't know. But there's a lot. Yeah.
So 5,000 PlayStations. I'm guessing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you on the 5 as well?
PSP, Vita. Yeah.
Are you messing around with the 5? Or are you not there
Not
yet?
so much. I've kind of capping it at PS4. I'm just getting a few PS5 games that I want to play. And a few collector's editions, whatever, special editions that pop up. But no, I'm not. I'll stick with PS4. That's as far as I'm going.
Is the PlayStation the largest part of your collection, or is it?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Originally, I thought I'd try and get major consoles across the board of everything that was released, basically, and just get a few games for each. So maybe 10 games for each console, just so I could play. And a few of them went a bit out of hand and went sort of 100 or 200 games, but yeah, generally I try and get a couple of games for a console, so you can at least try it.
Me in this household it's 2, 3, 4 Switch and a bunch of modded consoles. But no, I mostly mod when it comes, or when I say modding, I mean loaded consoles. I got a jailbroken Wii. I guess I don't know if that's a term. I paid somebody to do it. I try to do it myself, but it's just a waste of money. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I did that sort of thing back in the day as well. But yeah, we just call them chipped. Yeah, chipped consoles, really. Yeah, but that was the term back then. Yeah, chipped PS1, chipped PS2, that sort of thing. Yeah, and it's mainly you can see. I can play Japanese games in my PS1. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh, I've been. We're going to talk a little later about games in foreign languages, but how do you fare with the language barrier?
Oh, I can't really play foreign games. Like, it has to be English, really. Yeah. But I can kind of fumble my way through menus. I can read a little bit of Japanese, but yeah, you can catch especially older games. You can just there's so much English in the old ones, like Famicom games and stuff. You can easily play them, apart from RPGs.
I every attempt I made has been with the Google Translate app, and I'm running up to the TV every 5 seconds and holding it and reading it, and I get by, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I've played Tales of Vestiria with the computer open, and it had like a Google fan translate, and like you just read that, okay, this, okay, that.
Yeah,
that would be
Google
more. That's,
it's all right, but yeah, it's flipping between different titles and it's hard to read what's going on.
On that, Chris, you've done multiple trips to Japan and picked up plenty of games over there for your collection.
Yeah. Before the whole COVID thing, it was sort of going over once every couple of years. So yeah, it's great fun hunting around all the secondhand shops. Yeah, and that's how I built up. That's how I built up the PS3 collection. Really, just coming back with a box full of PS3 games each time. As I try and get them all posted, just be nuts. Yeah.
So just on your collection, Chris, I know myself, but for everyone listening, tell us about your PS3 collection. Your PS3 is your biggest collection?
Yeah, definitely. I thought, maybe about sort of 10 years ago or so, I was doing a lot of buying and selling, picking up lots and sort of keeping ones that I liked. And then I started thinking, well, hang on, what if I just started keeping ones that I don't have? And it just sort of went, it was 500 games, then it was getting close to 1,000. I thought, well, hang on, I may as well just go for a set. That's how it sort of came about.
Only to discover a set's like crazy when you dig.
Quite a number of the set was just built from keeping ones that I didn't have out of bundles and selling the other ones.
A lot of people listening think I've got the biggest PS3 collection in the world, but that's definitely not true. And for the fact that I know you've got way more PS3 games than me. So how many PS3 games have you got in your collection, Chris?
Including promos, there's a good 2,800.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So there's probably 120 promos. So yeah.
Are you still chasing stuff? Is there still stuff you want in the collection?
Yeah, I still don't have a full set. Originally, my plan for the full PS3 set was just go for everything across all regions that was a physical game. That's where I started doing a list, and just sort of went from there. And sticking with the OzPal as the main set, and then anything that wasn't OzPal was PAL, and then getting the NTSC exclusives and Japanese exclusives. I just have a few PAL ones left to get, and that's it. So there's a full set.
Let me guess. They're the Buzz games, or are they SingStar?
Well, yeah, I knew about I didn't know about the Buzz games until meeting Figsy and talking about it. I knew there was a few, but I didn't know there was that many. SingStar, I knew there was a lot, and I'd started collecting them a while back. But I never really thought of them as part of the set. I always thought of them as just a variant subset. People might have different opinions on that, but because they're technically a different game, I guess. But I don't really include that as a full set. But I mean, what's a full set?
But on the ones you're missing,
very debatable.
People might be curious which Buzz and which SingStar titles are you missing?
Yeah, so I need. There's only like 3 Buzz ones that I need, which is Croatia. Hang on, I'll have a look.
Croatia got a SingStar?
Yeah, Norway and Poland. And Russia, of course, but we know that's a tricky one to get at the moment.
Well, just on that, if there's anyone in chat from Norway, Poland, Croatia, Russia, and that can help Chris out, feel free to send Chris a message. In the description, guys, you'll be able to find Chris's Instagram where he posts a lot of his collections. So definitely be sure to go and follow him on his Instagram. And
I'm happy to do trade. There's plenty of Australian exclusives to trade. So,
speaking of Instagram, I was telling these guys I went on I did the deep dive on your Instagram, and there's a game on there I want, Dead or School. So since
is that just from the cover art?
Yeah, well, it's a marvelous game, and I like those games. I like the Senran Kagura, and but
Marvelous
Night-
is why I got it as well,
What's that?
because it's a Marvelous game.
Yeah, and
No.
I'm sorry.
It was Marvelous, right?
Yeah,
Publisher,
Night.
yeah.
And since people are on the lookout, keep an eye out for me, guys. If you can find one for less than $40, let me know. I'm after it. I went on eBay. There's one for like 52, but that's more than I like to pay for a game. But I don't know. I want to treat myself. I didn't know that game existed until today, so I'm on the hunt. So Dead or School, not a Japanese copy. I guess we didn't get an NTSC one, so I'm after a PAL. If anyone in the chat sees it, let me know. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. Send me a message.
I remember watching a copy, but it got to a point where I sort of slowed down with my collection, so I unwatched it on eBay. Might be one that I go to regret in the future, but with the PS4, it's not like the PS3. You can't just buy everything. It's such a big library.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I got that for $20 or so. Yes, a couple of years back, or whenever that post was, I guess.
On eBay, local.
Yeah, just off eBay.
I never have any luck on eBay. Yeah. I'm in the middle of I'm supposed to go pick up a couple of Dangan. Help me out, Fixie. Dangan Rampa.
Danganronpa, yep.
Yeah.
You're asking me for help on pronunciation.
Yeah, that's called irony. No, but I was in the middle of this, cutting a deal with some local kid. I only found out he was a child after I went and I looked at his profile on Facebook. I thought I was dealing with a regular human, but no, it's a child. And this kid's fucking jerking me around. I just, no, I can't. Well, maybe. I don't know. Fuck you. Anyway, what?
Sometimes you find they're like 18 when they do that, and like they think they're an adult, but they still act like a kid.
No, this kid's got to be at least 12. I don't know. Who knows? I might show up and his dad might be holding his hand there, but I don't care. I'll take his games. But we'll see. We'll see if that comes through. Yeah, the pleasures of hunting in the wild, just complete dickheads. At least on eBay, you can just hit order now and just move on. But anyway,
It goes the same as selling. That's why, like, I'm a full-time reseller, but I don't deal with anyone locally unless they're a fellow collector, because it's just 99% of the time it's a waste of time. So I don't even want to deal with it.
Yeah, when people ask if they can come pick it up.
Yeah,
I've had that before.
They never reply.
Oh no, they reply, but you get messed around. It might take half an hour. They're late getting there, or it's just a waste of time. You think, just post it. They're just trying to save on a bit of postage.
Speaking of postage, I had a Mercari deal. This guy I was buying a manual, beat up manual for Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, missing the manual. So they had the manual posted for $10 plus shipping. It was like, So I don't know, you guys on Mercari, you can make an offer. You make an offer, you put in your number, and then they either decline or they counter or whatever. But this game or this listing is at the bottom of the price range for Mercari, so you can't offer $5. It won't let you, because that's all I wanted to buy for. And I was like, and I went up to $6. And they said, oh, how about $6? And I'll just ship it regular, mail with postage stamps as opposed to being tracked mail. I was like, yeah, sure. And then they come back with, all right, they put the game at $10 with free shipping. And they're like, well, that's where you were before, so we're going to go with that now. I was like, all in an attempt to save themselves, a couple bucks. So,
all right, now I'm not going to buy it. You've just lost a sale. Good luck selling a manual.
I made an offer for $8 free shipping. We'll see what happens. But getting dicked around a lot this weekend. Now that I've been getting back in it. But enough of my my sob stories. Chris? Are you playing anything? What is your what's your go-to for playing right now? Which console? And what are you playing?
Probably playing PS4 more than anything these days, and mainly stuff that I can play like with my kids, like playing, either taking turns in like platform type stuff, or I think last night, I don't know if you've heard of Terror Trilogy. You heard of that? It's a power game.
I have. It's got a really cool cover work.
Yeah, well, well, cool or
I like it.
crappy.
It looks cool.
It's cool,
Is it-
crappy.
Is it is it like an 8-bit? Is it like one of those 8-bit
Yeah,
games?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Terror's like-
really well made actually for a cheap game. Yeah, it's lots of fun. Sort of directing a little like space shuttle, sort of flying that around in like a 2D scroller type environment.
little space capsule, and you check. Is it Terra Lander, or am I right? Or am I?
Oh, it was called Terra Trilogy. So it's 3 games on the one. Yeah, I should have grabbed it actually.
I think I passed on that game like multiple times.
Yeah, it was cheap. It was like, I think it was under $20. And I thought, oh, I'll give it a go.
It's been one that I want, but like I said before, there's just so many PS4 games, and I kind of prioritize getting the Australian games over getting imports.
Yeah, I think trying to remember what it was called. If you guys have got PlayStation Plus as a subscription, one of the free games this month. What was it called? Something Bodies.
Yeah.
You see that? I
Yeah,
forget what it's called.
Yeah, I think it's something body. You're right. It's like Space Body. There's like an astronaut on the cover or on the on the image. It's sitting in my library. I haven't downloaded it yet.
I was actually playing that last night. That's fantastic. Yeah, it's a co-op game, or single player or co-op game. Heavenly Bodies.
That's it. It was something space related.
Yeah, fantastic. Such a simple game, and it's free if you got PlayStation Plus.
What
My
tier?
subscription just ended, and I didn't want to renew it because I wasn't buying anything online.
No, Black Friday sale coming up without promoting PlayStation's deals.
Yeah. Actually, I'll have to check that out.
That's the best time if you can get you get subscription on some sort of deal. Yeah, like that. Black Friday or some other promotion, mid-year promotion, whatever.
I absolutely love your wallpaper, by the way, Chris.
Ah, thanks.
That's the Tokyo skyline.
Yeah, it's a photo I took from a Tokyo Skytree.
Wow, that's even more amazing that you took the photo. It's just on a wardrobe, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's right. Instead of having a mirror wardrobe, yeah.
Just on photos.
I should have played it up. I should have said, no, that's my view from my apartment.
From the office.
Yeah, that's right.
You sent me a couple of photos before the podcast started, so we've got some photos of your collection right here. So
God damn!
Amazing.
That's a good reaction if people walk into the room.
So talk us through it, Chris.
So that's just that's the PS3 main set. I don't have variants on the shelf. There's not enough room. I thought there'd be plenty of space in these shelves, but that's just the set. And that's just what I've got currently of PS4. And that's pretty maxed out. I've got a couple of shelves left on the bottom there, but I might have to start culling it.
I think it looks absolutely beautiful.
I didn't really want to go over 1,000 PS4 games, but here we are. I don't know, it's like 1,050 or something like that, PS4.
And we're not even at the end of the life cycle yet. It's like, oh god.
There's still games that, I'm not going for a set of PS4 or anything. Like, again, just kind of stick to OzPower games. If I spot a good one, I'll try and get that version of it. Otherwise, there's lots of spot cheap one on eBay. Try it out. Yeah, sort of just getting ones that I like.
I'm finding a lot more stuff is. I'm finding PAL has a lot more games, and I'm finding games that I want out of PAL. There's and not available here in NTSC land. On OzPAL, is it the same? Do you guys get all the same games PAL does, or is it?
No, I actually find there's hundreds and hundreds of imports that we didn't get.
Yeah, I find that as well. Yeah, or sometimes you do find one, and then you think, oh, There's a good one, and then all of a sudden there is an OzPal one that pops up, and
Yeah.
you're already.
Or it pops up 6 months later after you've already imported it.
Yeah.
It's like, but what annoys me, and Chris, you're probably the same, is there's a lot of games that get released over here, but they don't actually have the OzPal sticker on it, OzPal rating on it. They just have a sticker on it. Hate that.
Yeah, just
Is this-
lazy distributing.
To the point that there's actually factory seal games that the sticker is underneath the seal, so it's been put on in the factory.
Yeah, and not even a good one. Sometimes it just looks like a cheap printout on a sticker, and they've put that on there, and then they've sealed it up.
We're talking on the plastic of the case, or
No,
on the
but it's underneath the seal, so it's been done in the warehouse.
No,
and it's got a Y-fold seal. Like
I'll grab one as an example.
Not a shrink wrap.
we can't you just peel that shit off?
You got to open up the game.
Oh,
got to keep it sealed.
Open up the damn. Yeah, here I am. Open up the damn game. And I won't. Yeah, but I won't open my sealed ones up.
For a long time, I'll only open game. I'll open a game if I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we have a sealed game. This is a copy of Fort Boyard. It's factory sealed. It's a PAL game. And the Australian sticker is underneath the seal. It's a sticker.
You couldn't even put it over the top.
None on the back, none on the spine, but there's a sticker underneath the seal, and that's how they came brand new.
That's because of Australian law. You have to have an Australian rating on a game to be able to sell it new.
Yeah, we have no such. No, and we don't. I'm trying to think. No, none of that shit happens here. You can find PAL games, but not retail. I mean, you'll find them in stores at random, but in buy sell trade shops at random. But no, we don't get. I wish we did. I would be all for it if they sold PAL games here and just slapped an ESRB sticker on the case.
Yeah, you don't get PAL games with a NTSC like rating sticker over the top.
No, we don't. There's PAL games. You don't find them at retail here at all.
When I was in America, I found a few game shops had like PAL sections, and it was called like imports, and there were Japanese and PAL games there. But they didn't touch them at all. Like over here, we get a lot of American games, but they have an Australian sticker on it. But our retailers will still sell them as long as they've got our rating sticker on the front.
Gotta have that rating sticker. It's weird. I can't remember. I think someone over in Europe told me that they can't sell it in the store unless it's got that country's sticker on it. So
yeah, it's the same. Well, it's supposed to be like that in Australia.
I'll give you guys a little story on that. So I've got like 50 little cutout little Australian rating stickers in my eBay preparation drawer for the fact that cash converters will only take games that have the Australian rating on it. So if I put the sticker on it, they'll accept it.
I don't know why Cash Converters cares about that.
So you
but
you bought a roll of stickers with?
No, I made it myself.
Oh shit!
They pay $3 a PS3 game. It's, at the time, it was the best rate I could get in town for like low budget games. So they refused like 30 sport games that were really cheap. So I went and printed all the stickers out, took them back, and they accepted every single one.
How many stores are you blackballed from in your town?
Well, I don't know. If they're listening to our podcast, it's going to be more and more.
That's why they treat you like a company and not an individual.
I'm going to have to leave town.
I was looking over at the chat. Somebody was out talking about pickup. You ever do a pickup with cat piss on it?
I do have a story about this. I lived with a couple of girls at one point.
Must be someone that I know said that.
And they had cats, and one of them didn't really look after the cats, and it was pissing everywhere. They didn't live there that long, but long story short, one of the cats pissed upstairs, and it dripped through on some games that I had for sale. So I I tried to clean them. I couldn't get it off. I ended up just taking the games to an op shop and getting rid of them.
Yeah, you can't get it out. Yeah, I picked up an Atari once that they said it had a slight smell. I picked it up and I went straight away. I went, oh, did a cat piss on this? Yeah, lo and behold, I pulled it apart to clean it, and man, the main board just stung.
Oh
No.
god!
Couldn't get it out, so I had to resell it with a slight smell.
I've been lucky enough to dodge bullets on cat piss and cigarette smells, but I don't know.
Smells are the worst as well.
I don't know how to get cat piss smell out of everything, but I have picked up a good cigarette smell tip, and basically you just take the game or take it apart, stick it in a Ziploc baggie, and just throw a bunch of dryer sheets in there. And you gotta let it set for like a month or so. And supposedly that'll take care of the if you ever get any cigarette smoke smelling games. And I've heard this tip from a lot of people, and they say it works, but it does take some time. You can't just put it in overnight. It's got to be like a good couple of weeks. So yeah, pro tip there: if you ever get cigarette smelling, just stick it in a Ziploc with some dryer sheets and wait.
I've got a follow-up question to that. So my concern with cigarette games is they stain the games, especially like white games. They stain the top and the bottom of the game. Does that get the color out?
I doubt it. You talk about like if something's like peeking out of the top or the bottom of the plastic.
Well, a PS3 game is a good example because the artwork doesn't go all the way to the top. And say like any of the artwork slips past it, if they're a cigarette smoker, it's going to be stained like yellow. I've been reselling those games and buying other copies because it annoys me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to get that stain. Yeah, you bunch of. When I was younger, I had a bunch of roommates. Everybody smoked cigarettes, and when it came time to move out, you take the pictures off the wall, and there's like a big white square where the picture used to be. Yeah, that stain's not going anywhere. You're just stuck with it, dude. Wish I could help you.
I think you'll find that on PS5 games in years to come. It's like I had that trouble with Wii games. It's difficult to find really nice, crisp white covers on Wii games.
Yeah, perfect example. Wii games, you can tell if they're a smoker or not straight away. Just
a little dirty edge across the top of them. Stain, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for someone to come up with a way to cure wrinkly artwork, aka water damage.
Water damage is awful, but wrinkly, just like folds and stuff, is bad, but you can get around it.
You can try ironing
yeah
between a couple of tea towels.
My resolution is put it on eBay and buy another one.
Yeah, that also works.
Moisture damage. Moisture. This thing is moisturely challenged. Moisturely, is that a word? Yeah, new word. Moisturely
can be.
No, but yeah, it sucks. Water damage is the worst. Yeah, usually it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to spot them. When they're for sale, like on eBay or online. But the best way I found it is you got to look when they do that. They open the case and they show the inside. That's where you can see it. You could see the brownness coming up through, and it's just god damn it. I don't know.
Sometimes it just take much. Like they've just set it down on a table with a glass that's has a coaster or something like that, and that can be enough just to stain the back of it.
Crazy.
It's pretty easy to do.
But to a lot of people, if they smoke cigarettes, they probably do it in the same room that they play video games in. They throw their cases on the ground. It's not on a shelf like us.
Yeah.
People don't care like we do. So.
Yeah, I've opened up games that got little bits of tobacco in there, and some rollies, and
I found drugs inside of games. I think I talked about that before, but yeah, and people kids stash their birthday money in there and forget about it. Found money in games, but you find weird shit in games. And of course, And of course, the PS2 era, the sheet of cheat codes shoved in there with the manual. Those
I
are
love finding that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's always good.
also, I like when you get the receipt, the original receipt from when they bought it, shoved in the game. You can see when it was bought, how much it was paid for. Like, it's just it's little pieces of history. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I like it.
How much cheaper we get everything else for. I've just put chat on slow mode so we can keep up.
Hey, who's this guy blowing up the chat?
Just blocking
One of my old PUBG friends, and he hasn't seen me for a couple of years, so I guess he must be excited. G'day, Daddy.
Did you just call him?
Another really cool thing that I'd love to show Chris. You sent me a photo of your kiosks, and in particular, you've got 2 different variant kiosks. So tell us about that.
Yeah, that's right. So, I mean, pick these up separately over time. It's both of them I found on eBay actually. No, actually, one was on Gumtree. But the one on the right is a slim version. You can kind of see it's a little bit hard with those reflections, but the one on the left is a fat PS3. So that's and you can see the logo at the top and the logo on the door of the kiosk.
Yeah, I love how it's got the Spider-Man and the new fonts, like copies the Spy, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so it's quite rare to find that, because you can imagine when that's in the store, the rep has just come in. The Slim has come out. It was being released, so they've just come in. They take the logo off the top, replace the door, and remove the dummy console and put the Slim console. And they just
probably find there's some that
just put it in the bin.
Didn't replace the door; they've just replaced the top, because that would be really easy to do.
Yeah, well, because they just get binned, the old stuff. So yeah, they're both the same kiosk. It's just one's been upgraded. And they leave the fat PS3 in, because it's down. I don't know if you know those kiosks, but the bottom is a door, and the actual console sits in there. So that's just a fake one that's in that plastic box.
Is this an empty shell?
Yeah, it's just a plastic dummy console.
You say you got one off of eBay? Did they ship that to you?
No, it was in Sydney. I just drove down. It was actually from a youth centre. They just didn't want it anymore. I picked it up pretty cheap. It was a couple $100. Just went down with the trailer and picked it up, drove it back. And the other one was from Sydney as well. I actually picked up a Xbox 360 kiosk at the same time. And I put one kiosk in the back of the car that I had at the time, a Ford Territory, and the other one in a trailer. And brought both of them back, and it cost $150 a piece. Yeah.
Kiosk collection. That's a whole other animal. How many kiosks you got?
No, that's it. I sold the 360 kiosk.
Well done.
So it comes down to room. If you've got a big shared room, it's your house, you can buy as many as you want. If you haven't got the room, you ain't buying a kiosk. I've had one and I sold it. Like, I have the room, but if I ever
they take up some room.
Things like that, and even just moving it around the house, you need a second person. It was a mission, so I decided to sell it, and I've got no regrets. So, Chris, I wanted to ask you about.
I love them too much. I'll never sell them.
We spoke about your PS3 collection. I'd love to hear about your other PlayStation collections. Are you going for any other full sets or anything like that? And then,
PlayStation Vita. I wanted to get a full set of Australian releases on that.
How's that mission going? Because that's inside.
Yeah, I started collecting that a long time ago when games weren't so expensive. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have a list of what the Australian releases are. So it's purely just what I'm searching, what I find.
There's 2 games which I hear from Australian collectors are the rarest. Danganronpa V3 and Gimme Knights or something. That should be a game for Figs. He pronounced that game, but it's an NIS American title. Do you have those two titles?
The second one's not an Australian one, did you say?
I've heard that there's an Australian release. There's a few collectors out there who have been looking for it.
What'd you say it was called again?
I'll get the actual name of it.
I've got V3 though, luckily. There was a collector here locally who was selling up their collection, and I managed to be able to buy a lot from them. So I was quite fortunate there. Because there's probably there's maybe about 10 that I know of that I don't have at the moment.
Is the who's got the bigger set, NTSC Vita or OSPAL, or is it the same?
It's NTSC because of limited run games.
Yeah,
it's not even close. Limited run games has got more games than the entire Australian set.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Mary Knight is the game.
What? Can you spell that?
Yomawari.
Yomawari. Yeah, Night Alone.
Yeah.
That's I've got that. That's a.
You've got the Australian version.
No, it's an NTSC.
So apparently, the Australian version is the rarest Australian game out there. That's what I've heard.
Well, like a lot of sets that ends up being a set killer. You see a price tag on it, and you're like, well, I'm not going for that set anymore.
I know my good friend Luke Like Games. He's one game off a full set, and I'm pretty certain it's that title. And then I know another collector on Twitter who's one game away from a full set, and that's the Vita game as well. So it's one of those games that it's just insane.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm proud of what I've got at the moment. I think I'm happy to get them if I see them, but I'm not paying big bucks for them.
So this Yomawari Nights is the Vita version of the DS's Barbie game.
Oh no, I don't think it's at that point. I don't think
it's not that rare.
I can't speak for these collectors, but I don't think anyone would pay over $500 for it. I assume it's like a $300 game. But again, I'm not aware of it. I know of one collector that just sold his copy, but I don't know how much he got for it.
I'll have to look into it. I've actually got the collector's edition for that, so wonder what that's worth.
All right, guys.
And then back to your collection, Chris. We'll turn away from PlayStation for a minute. What other games do you have in your collection that aren't PlayStation?
Well, I've got a fairly decent Atari collection.
2600?
Yeah, Atari 2600. Yeah, I've got maybe about 300 games or so.
Ooh.
Atari. It's about 150-ish boxed games. Yeah.
I love the different colors of the Atari box games. They look great.
Yeah, I put a photo of that recently on Instagram. Yeah, the color of the boxes is fantastic. The artwork on Atari games is awesome too. Back in the era when they painted the covers, commissioned paintings for them. Yeah, and so with Atari, I don't mind Atari, so I've got a few other Atari. I've got a few 7800 games. I'm a couple of games off a Lynx set.
Yep, that's the handheld Atari Lynx.
Oh, the Atari Lynx. Okay.
Yeah, there's like 2 games I need for that, but I'm not going for a boxed set of that. Yeah, most of that's loose cards. Yeah, that was just kind of something fun I'm doing it. A lot of people frown upon getting loose cards, but they don't take up much room.
And then it comes down to if it's a handheld system, it's a bit different because you can have like half a Game Boy set just sitting in the drawer there, loose Game Boy Advance games, DS games. You can have literally like 500 of them in a little drawer like that, even with the Switch. So it's not for me, but I can respect collectors that do it.
You can put the entire Switch games loose in a purse. It's a beautiful thing. All right, guys, you're gonna have to excuse me for a minute. I gotta go to the bathroom. 40 minutes wins.
Well, I think someone had 36 minutes, so that was close. So moving on to modern systems, do you collect any Nintendo, any Xbox, anything like that?
No, I've got a few Switch games, but not really collecting for that. I'm not collecting for like Xbox One. Sort of stopped at 360. I just started getting a few exclusives for 360 and an original Xbox, just because I didn't want to double up with whatever was on PS3 as well.
What I love about the 360 is the Japanese exclusives, because they got some amazing shoot 'em ups on them, and which is weird because then suddenly you go to the PS4 and like Japan aren't even releasing games on the Xbox One, let alone shoot 'em ups or anything. They're all PlayStation, so it's weird how they went all Xbox.
Yeah. Well, whenever I looked at like secondhand shops in Japan, the Xbox section, you had to really look for it. Like even in for new games, there'd be a gigantic Nintendo section and a gigantic PlayStation section with PS4 and Vita sitting there, and then way over in the back corner, there's one shelf with some Xbox games on it, and a little sign above it.
And people are like, "What's that?"
Yeah, it's not popular. Yeah, very very niche market, I think, Xbox in Japan. So that'd be quite rare to get, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I said an interesting stat. I don't know about it today, but a few years ago, I think it was 2018, 2019, the PS3 was actually outselling the Xbox One in Japan. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I believe it. It's just not popular at all.
Chris, I want to ask you about YouTube. You used to make YouTube videos. Have you ever considered making videos about your video game collection? And tell us about what you used to do over on YouTube.
Yeah, I have been meaning to get back into making a few videos, but it's just I think collecting games has sort of taken over, and just got to get back into it, I guess. But I used to just do silent unboxing toys, basically. Mainly Japanese toys. A character called Man.
Yeah,
is really popular. It still is popular in Japan. I just sort of started doing that as just a bit of fun, thinking, maybe, at some stage I might get a check for $10 or something. And all of a sudden a couple of videos just exploded, and like I started getting like 100 subs a day, and before I knew it, it was sort of well over 10,000 subscribers, and some of the videos were well into 2 million views, and
that's awesome.
So at one stage there it was going great. Like I'd put up a video and I'd just instantly get 10,000 views within a week, and I know it's not viral or anything. It's not big huge numbers, but it's still very.
To me, that's like goals. So no, I definitely love that.
Yeah.
Those toys, do you still collect them? Have you since sold them? And do you still own them?
What's that? Sorry.
The toys you used to make videos about, do you still collect them?
I've still got them. Yeah, I've still got, I think, almost everything that's in those videos. I don't know if you've seen that at all, Will.
Your YouTube toy channel.
Yeah, Toys and Stuff is the channel.
I used to collect toys. I used to be hardcore. Before I collected video games, I had a big toy collection, but I let it all go. That was years and years ago. But no, do you have a favorite line that you chase, or is it just everything?
At the time, it was just it was mainly like I was giving my kids the toys after I did a video. I'd unbox it, and then I'd just put it all back together and give it to my kids to play with. They're too old for that now, though. Like, Man was the character, just for little kids. But yeah, it's just very popular. But I started doing a few other sort of games and stuff in there as well. Just I've got like my original Game Boy that I got when I was a kid, which I've still got. I don't know how it survived over the years, but yeah, it lasted in mint condition. It's
in mint condition.
it is mint. I've just kept it, in a plastic container and not a mark on it.
I don't think it's a
all the
surprise.
baggies, all the paperwork is in it. Yeah.
Have you heard the story about the Game Boy that like survived one of the wars and it still works? It's like in a museum today.
No.
Oh, you never see? Yeah, some guy took his Game Boy to Iraq. I think it was and he got blown up by an IED or something, and this thing it's all half burnt and it's just all mangled, and the damn thing still works. And yeah,
and it's in a museum. It's like the Nokia phones back when they used to make things to last.
Yeah.
Never had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Advance, SP, the little ones, the clamshell ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, they're fantastic, those ones.
Yeah, the light went out on it, but that was a pain in the ass trying to play old school, like at a certain angle. But no, and that was where I fell in love with Pokemon. But no, never had the big gray brick.
No, I could never afford Pokemon when I was a kid. I had to hire that from the local video shop for the weekend.
They would
Speaking
rent
of Pokemon, guys. It's Pokemon.
Yeah, you rent it. Don't remember renting games.
You guys pick up the new Pokemon?
No.
Yeah, it's downstairs. It's my kids playing. You got not Scarlet. No, not Scarlet. Violet. Yeah,
Nice.
I want the funky snake on it. But no. Yeah, I do remember renting games, but never DS or Game Boy cartridges. They rented Game Boy cartridges.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always just.
I can actually never remember seeing a Game Boy game in a video shop. I can visually remember seeing Xbox and PlayStation, but never Game Boy.
Yeah, that's how I played Red and Blue back in the day.
Could you imagine every person who rented that would delete the save and start again?
Yeah. That's
oh my god!
Just have fun for a weekend, and you're like, well, that's that.
Yeah, and the last person to rent it got a dead battery. Poor bastard.
Oh, that's crazy. I want to grab my Pokemon pickups because I grabbed a couple of things over the weekend, guys.
Oh my god, the PlayStation podcast is gone off the rails again.
It's nuts. Just how popular Pokemon still is.
I mean, it's just a solid idea, and it works. People still want to catch them all. Well, go on, Figsy. Show us what you got.
Oh, I was just going to add to that. It's not just Pokemon. Like, I'm surprised at how many 90s inspired anime cartoons are still extremely popular. I went and visited a friend the other day, and his kids playing with Beyblades. And they're watching Beyblades on YouTube. Beyblades was around in the 90s, and it's still popular today. You could say the same with Digimon or
Digimon's fallen off, hasn't it? Now my son, he's still got the Beyblades, it's like an arena pit, like a big plastic pit, and yeah, he's still got a drawer full of Beyblades, and
I love that.
Let her rip. No, but I think Digimon's fallen off though. They're still making games, but was Digimon a card game like Pokemon or?
No, Yu-Gi-Oh was, and Yu-Gi-Oh is still popular. I don't think Digimon was ever a card game. I remember it being a TV show and a video game.
Yeah, I just caught the TV show now and again. But so what do you got, Figsy? What are you going to show us here?
All right, so I had to get the double pack. So this comes with both games as well as the Golden Steelbook, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that. So yeah, it actually came in the pack.
So I pre-ordered this, and then there were 2 other steelbooks which I got as well. So these were only available if you pre-ordered the single game. So I pre-ordered the single games as well, and then got to the shop and cancelled my pre-order and hustled the store into giving me the steelbook. So.
So getting banned from stores, you say? Is that?
Yeah. Number one, I can't go back to.
Yeah.
But I'm 3 hours in. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a little bit glitchy, but I've heard once you get like 5 hours in, the memory of the game sort of ruins it. So yeah, I'm going to update you on that next podcast.
They released an unfinished Pokemon game. Is that what you're telling me?
That's what I've been hearing, and it's definitely glitchy. Like you'll go to catch a Pokemon and it's freezing, and it's like suddenly then moving again, and then it's like freezing and moving
That's
again.
how games work now, isn't it? Just release it, however, and they'll just go, well, we'll just fix it in a patch.
That you got to pay for.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to pay.
You should
patch?
get patches.
What patches anyone ever had to pay for? That is fucked. They ever get Cyberpunk? They ever get the?
Yeah, that was supposed to be all right after a couple of patches.
It's meant to be brilliant today. I just have yet to return to it since. So it's one of those things. Once you play a game and you've had a bad experience, it leaves like a sour taste in your mouth. It's just hard to return to it.
Yeah, the hype sort of faded on that a little bit.
It's still sitting on my
I
shelf.
might give it another go. It was nice. It was a nice looking game.
Yeah, but I think the company suffered poor. You can still the game is now available. I mean, it was available for like $10 like a month after it dropped because it's just so crap. I picked up a copy. It's just sitting on my shelf, but yeah, if I ever decide to download it or to play it, it's probably going to be like 3 more days of downloads and blah blah blah.
Well, yeah. What makes me upset is CD Projekt Red did such a good job with The Witcher 3. It was like one of the best games of last generation or this generation, if you want to say that. And like, yeah, like I can't fault The Witcher 3. Like they are still making free content for it. It's such a good game. And then, unfortunately, because of that, like many people, my expectations and many other people's expectations was set up here for Cyberpunk, and they were making it out to be like the next best thing, and unfortunately it wasn't. You know, it was another case of No Man's Sky, fake promises, and releasing.
Well, that was supposed to be good too. After the patches, it's supposed to come good as well.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like we shouldn't be talking about. All right, 5 years later, they eventually made a good game. You know, it should be. If you're paying, $60 or $100, whatever country you're in for a game, you should be getting a fixed game. Like, look at Elden Ring. Elden Ring came out working. The developers delayed the game for a very long time. You know, they didn't care to put it out early. They delayed the game. It still sold well. It may even get Game of the Year. And it got released working, fixed game, worth your $60. And it leaves a good impression in your mouth. Everyone who played that and enjoyed it is going to go and buy their next title. Like, I'm not going to buy the next CD Projekt Red title or Hello Games title brand new, even if, it's promised as like the best thing ever. I think Starfield's a good one, the next Bethesda game. Like, I'm excited for that, but I'm not going to buy it day one because of what some of the recent Bethesda titles have been like. It's, look at Fallout 76.
Yeah, that's right.
No, never played The Witcher. Never played Cyberpunk. I don't think I have Witcher on my shelf. I don't know. Right now, what am I playing? I was playing Sekiro again. You know how you play a game and you get better as you go along. Yeah, this shit's not happening. I make some progress and then I hit a boss, and then I spend about an hour and a half on the boss. So I'm up to the. You played it, Pixie?
I've gotten all bar like 3 trophies in it, so I need to finish it completely. The thing about Sekiro is it's hard until you learn how to play the game with parries, and once you learn how to play the game with parries, it's not as hard.
I'm parrying everything, but it doesn't fucking. It's useless. I'm up to the ogre. We're at the gate, the one that got chained up. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, the freaking doing all these wrestling moves on me and shit, and kicking me across the screen.
I think the trick for that is you go up the top and you can set the ogre on fire, something like that.
Yeah, there's some hint where the guy says the ogre hates fire. How do I set him on fire?
It's been a couple of years since I've played it.
God damn, yeah.
There is a way to set him on fire, and then you can attack him while he's on fire.
All right, well, I'm gonna go figure out how the fuck to set him on fire. I think I'll watch a YouTube walkthrough. I don't know, but anyway.
What I like about Sekiro, and not many games do it, is it gives you real difficulty. Like the game hasn't got a difficulty setting; it's just one difficulty. So the developers have intended on how you're going to play that game. So for me, at certain points in that game, I got stuck on bosses, which gets you to consistently grind, get better. And once I beat those bosses, I didn't just overcome them. I let out a scream. It's like feeling of overcoming something, and it's really rewarding. Not many video games give you that sensation anymore.
Shit, I'm the asshole who starts games on easy mode, and I'm over here waiting for the damn game to say, well, "Would you like to try an easier mode?" No, it's not offering that shit. I'm just gonna suffer through this shit.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to finish it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I've said it before. Anything ninja or samurai related, I'm all about. And this was supposed to be the PS4's version of the of Tenchu, but somewhere along the way they made it its own game. But I want to play it. It's a beautiful game. It's fun. It's got all the button set layouts a little fucked up. Because I'm playing Tenchu style buttons, but that's not the same thing. Maybe I should change it. Maybe it'll get better if I change it. I don't know. I'm rambling.
There's a new one coming out soon, isn't there? A new samurai type game.
Oh, PlayStation exclusive or something. I did see something along those lines. Yeah,
I forget what it is. I know it's coming out soon. Spotted it somewhere.
I know what you're talking about. I remember seeing it, but I don't. The name escapes me.
Well, have you played Elden Ring?
Elden Ring, yeah, I played about 5 minutes of it.
You didn't enjoy it?
No, I just I died.
I've played all the From Software games, and in my opinion, Sekiro is by far the hardest.
I played Elden Ring. I got up to a certain point. I got to that first part where you first encounter real enemies, and I got stuck there for about an hour. So yeah, I put a couple of hours into the game, and I set it down, and it's just sitting there waiting for me to come back to it. But no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish Sekiro, and then I'm gonna probably do Elden Ring next. No, I'm probably not gonna do that. I don't know what's.
Well, if I could recommend anything, I would do the opposite, because I think Elden Ring, and a lot of people agree with this, is the easiest Dark Souls game to get into because they give you so much freedom.
Yeah, I get so frustrated with Dark Souls games. I love the look of them. I love the feel and the style. Oh man,
it's one of those things like you almost have to practice them to get good at them.
Yeah, that's right. It comes down to it's a muscle memory style game. You just got to do it over and over and over.
If any game needs a patch, it's those games, and it should be a difficulty setting level patch. And then if seriously they drop that patch, they would sell 100 more games, or 100 more, thousands more, hundreds of thousands. But
that's actually an interesting point, because the developer has come out and addressed this, because he's well aware that there's so many people out there who aren't playing these games because they can't. And he said the games are set up and designed this way because he wants certain people to overcome certain things in like it's like a way of life. So a lot of people who have played Dark Souls will be like depressed and stuff, and like the only thing that they've got at that time is Dark Souls, and they actually overcome these bosses, and then suddenly they relate, all right, I've just overcome something that I can't do, and they'll actually relate that in their real life, and like, you know, they might get out of that depression by doing certain things like this. And it's so many people in the community who have done this, and the developer's well aware of that. So it's a really, really cool game once you dive down deep into it.
Looks like someone in the chat answered your question, Chris. Wo Long Fallen Dynasty.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah,
That doesn't sound right. That's a Chinese.
yeah, that's a Chinese game. It's not a. Is that the? Yeah,
that's not it.
that's not the game you're talking about.
No, it's set in like old style Japan,
Feudal Japan.
the feudal Edo period. Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'll be there. I love ninja games.
Oh, I love it, yeah.
I just want a new Tenchu game.
It's a thing. It's probably never going to happen because like the Dark Souls style is just so much more popular. So you can't see From Software making a game like that again.
What was the last? I mean, From Software did one of the Tenchu games. Did they do them all or just one?
I'm not entirely sure. This one's got Sega on it.
Yeah, I mean, there's Activision, Sega. I don't remember. One of them is From Software.
So maybe not. You know.
I really don't know the difference between a developer and a publisher.
Yeah, I get confused as well.
But one of them is From Software. I just don't remember which one.
Yeah, it can be multiple game teams working on it as well.
Windy Corner TV said Tenchu was made by Acquire, not From Software. Acquire make low budget games like Akira's Trip now.
There's one. No, I'm telling you, there's one of them that's From Software. I remember seeing From Software, in the opening credits of the game. God damn it. No, he's on the shelf. I'm on the phone. Sorry, Chris, are you scouring the internet as well?
Yeah, I thought I'd have a quick look.
All of mine say Activision or something else, so cannot confirm that one. Will.
All right. People ask, is Tenchu made by From Software? Primarily known. Yeah. Japanese video game publisher known for Armored Core, Tenchu, and Dark Souls franchises.
You're looking at the same page I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's the first thing that popped up on Google.
Yeah.
Originally developed by Japanese developer Acquire, where the player assumes the role of a ninja, blah, 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 blah. But developers Acquire, From Software, K2. Yeah, everybody's had their hands in this thing. Sony Interactive. Publishers Acquire, From Software, Microsoft, Activision, fuck you, Nintendo, Ubisoft. But yeah, anyway.
You're probably fine because so many people have had their hands in it. That's why we don't see a new one, because you would have to like buy out this studio or give this person money and vice versa to be able to make it.
It's got a beautiful soundtrack as well. No, I'm not going to do it.
Chris, I had an interesting question. So I'm one of these people, and you are as well, who collect Australian-only games. In particular, we both have or are going for a complete Australian PAL PS3 set. But a lot of people out there don't do this. So my question to you is, why do you collect the Australian version apart from rather than just getting the regular or the cheaper version?
Yeah, just it's Australian, so it's you want to get what's exclusive to your country, I guess. There's not really much other reason other than it's that's what was released here. So
the home field advantage.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair. personally, I aesthetically like the set. I like how every single game's got the rating on it. You know, it's nice to have none missing and different things like that.
Apart from the format of that not being the same, that drives me nuts a
of
bit.
course.
Well, they couldn't come up with a standard format there to keep them all the same. I think you look at a Japanese set because it has a rating on the spine as well for Japanese games, and it's perfect. They've kept it. They've got a small zone at the bottom of the spine, and that's it. You don't put it anywhere else.
Are the majority
Sorry, Will.
Are the majority of Japanese games white with just the writing on?
There are some coloured ones on there. Yeah, I think that's in the background there. That's the. It's probably right behind my video feed there. Yeah, I put a picture up recently. I did that. Maybe I did it on Facebook, not Instagram. But it's quite a nice looking set when they're all together.
A few years ago, Chris, I think we discussed that the people who make these games, clearly the people making the Japanese games are collectors as well compared to the people making the PAL games, just by the appearance of them all.
I think they just have stricter standards as well. I think a little bit more care taken. They're probably graphic designers for other games in UK and the US are probably getting the whip cracked and get it out now, and they're just rushing things, and they're in Photoshop or InDesign or whatever and just putting it together badly. Because even games from the same developers, they're not keeping them consistent, which is a shame.
You know what's really interesting about that is a lot of Japanese games actually get released first, and then the other version, the one that looks rushed, in particular like RPGs and things like that.
Well, same as so like the Australian version of a game, they've just taken a UK game and in their program, their editing program, probably InDesign or something, they're just pasting over the top the ratings and shuffling around and whatever. And we've got quite a lot of games in Australia. They're supposed to be Region 4, and there's many games that have got the Australian rating on the front and a Region 2 on the back because they've just forgotten to do it. And there's one particular game that I've got which has got the 4 and the 2 showing underneath. They didn't copy it over the top completely. It's a Sonic game. It's basically a misprint. Yeah, it's got.
But it's not, because every copy is like that. So
there's not many of it. It's a little bit rarer to find. But yeah, I've seen multiple for sale. They kind of did it, and then they must have got pulled up on it, and then they fixed it. So, it's just
Chris, I'd love to get you to tell us about some of your biggest ever pickups, because I know you've had some really cool pickups over the years.
Yeah, right. I probably could have looked up some of that from the past. It's been sort of well before COVID, really, that back when you could get some really big pickups on Gumtree or something and just buy people's the rest of their collection or something. There's a collector that I know. He sort of gave up on it, and there's been a few that I've known that have just given up, and you say, well, what do you want for everything? Yeah. You sort of come to a number. TJ was one of them.
Yeah.
He was selling up, and sort of, I was looking at some of the stuff that he was selling, and sort of saying, oh, well, I'd like this or I'd like this. And once you start getting a few, you'd say, well, we sort of come to an agreement, well, I'll just get the lot. It saves him trying to, as you know, it takes a long time to sell games that you don't want.
Every game you got to pay postage on, fees on.
Or people picking it up and not turning up. And yeah, so if you can just sell it in one hit, yeah, everyone's happy.
Did you keep majority of those games? Were there many doubles in that lot?
There were a lot of doubles in that, but yeah, I did keep majority of it. Yeah, especially a lot of collector's edition stuff. Yeah, I don't mind collector's editions. And there's a few rare titles in there as well. There's Chinese, English titles and stuff. So yeah, a few really good PS2 consoles. Yeah, that VR, that PS2 VR
Oh yeah.
you're showing. Yeah, I've got that.
Oh, you got his?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think you're modest when you say a few PS2 consoles. I think it was closer to 10, if I recall.
10 consoles?
No, I think it was about 5. I didn't get all of them. I think.
Oh, okay.
He still sold some other ones. But yeah, there were some good ones. The Ratchet and Clank one was a really good one. That was
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, Toys R Us exclusive in Japan.
The aqua blue.
Yeah, it's a really nice blue color. Yeah, that was a standout. That was a really good one. Oh, and a Yakuza PS3 console that I got as well. That was really nice.
That one's absolutely beautiful.
The white one?
Yeah, it's the slim version. I forget what it is. Yakuza.
It's not Yakuza 5. It's one of the ones I'm missing. I forget the name of it.
Yeah. Ishin, I think it was. Yeah, Japanese game. I think they're did they make that on, or they're going to do it on PS4? I think they're remaking it.
Pretty sure they've done all of them. Ishin was one of the spin-off titles, so I'm not sure if they were doing the spin-off titles or not.
That was a feudal Japan style Yakuza.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Ishin.
That's that only Japan only? You guys say?
Yeah, it was, but they're remaking it on PS4 as an English release.
Windy Corner says.
Yeah, Ishin's getting a remake on PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one to look out for.
Also, they answered your...
which is what the Yakuza series is called in Japan.
Right. Sorry, how'd you say it?
Did you want to try giving it a go?
Chris, pronounce that game.
Yeah, that's why
I can see it. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, I read this stuff so often, I don't say it out loud. Ryuga Gotoku. Yeah, which means like a dragon. Yeah, which is why they've made that like a dragon series.
Yeah, it makes sense. The Yakuza like a dragon.
There's that.
Just on that, I think that's a good leanway into the homework that Will set for us this week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
As you guys know, we do like to assign our guests homework. And of course, Figsy and I do it as well. This week's homework was, what is your favorite foreign game? This fits perfectly with what we've been talking about. And by foreign, I mean not in your home language. So these are games that are not in English. I'm gonna go first because mine. I only have 2 games that are not in English in my collection anymore, and
wow.
This is one of my favorites because I'm a big fan of Super Robots. But this is Super Robots second OG. Hold on. If you guys aren't familiar with Super Robots, it's basically giant mecha from Japan, from all sorts of, it's just all different mecha from different cartoons over the years. They just threw them all into one game. So you got everything from Gundam in there to what would be Shogun Warriors here in the States. You got Evangelion thrown in there. You got shit I even heard of, Getter Robo. Daigon.
Kamen
my God.
Rider.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann. He's in. I think he's probably in later ones, but if it's a giant robot, if it's got a mecha cartoon, they threw it in. They threw it into the Super Robot Wars series, and they just pit them head to head in one giant weirdo. What's the word? Strategic battle. It's but I'm a big fan of Super Robots, and that's my favorite one. It's not easy for me to play with the Google Translate holding up to the screen, but I
Yeah,
took
the
a
menu is
stab at it.
difficult on that.
Oh yeah, it's hard and shit. But this is actually this is a Korean copy actually. Oh, God, this thing is useless.
But does the other menus in can you choose Japanese in the menu on that Korean one?
I don't remember. I just started pressing buttons until something happened, and then I started translating. But yeah, I probably put about a good hour into this game, and that hour, if I spoke the language, probably been 4 hours. But yeah, it's really hard. But again, I'm a fan of the giant robots and Japanese mecha, so that's why this is my favorite foreign language game.
Yeah, there's a few different titles of Super Robot.
Oh, there's tons of them. They span all the way back to the PS1, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've got PS4 games as well. But,
I haven't committed to the PS4. I haven't found there's one on eBay or not on Amazon. But I haven't gone there yet. I just want a full. I'm not sure if it's in English or if it's in Japanese or if it's translated or not.
Yeah, you can get it from like Hong Kong. You can get English versions. Yeah, I've got OG TV X. That's how they're released. So Super Robot Wars T, V, and X.
TV and X.
Yeah.
Also, I'm finding though that a lot of the later Super Robot Wars don't have the mecha from the late 70s and 80s, which I'm especially a big fan of. So I'm kind of like I got to find out who's in it before because my favorite robot's Mazinger Z and Great Mazinga. That's my era, like the late 70s, early 80s robots. And if those guys aren't in it, I'm not really interested. I also like Evangelion. That's probably the later end of mecha, but a lot of robots. I have no fucking clue what they are or anything about them, so I'm not really interested in them. So unless it's got Mazinger Z in there, I'm not gonna bother. I got to look into it though.
Fair enough.
Who's up next?
Chris, let's see yours, man.
Okay, so I think one that I sort of just gravitate towards is probably Initial D, Extreme Stage. I love car racing games, and I love Initial D. If you've ever seen the series, fantastic series, and yeah, the gameplay on this is actually pretty good. It still kind of holds up. Fantastic downhill drift action. Yeah, really good.
It's a really it's one of the more popular Japanese games I know English speaking people to chase after Initial D.
Yeah, it still sells well. And you can get through it pretty easy. It has a little bit of English in the menus, not much, but that's pretty easy to get through. Like the cut scenes in between are all in Japanese, but you kind of just skip through that. But yeah, gameplay wise, it's awesome.
Nice one.
What do you got on deck, Figsy?
I just wanted to mention before I show my game, Wangan Midnight as well is another amazing title that's similar to Initial D, and there we go.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a close one because that's also really good, but yeah, the graphics in this are really good. Yeah.
Windy Corner TV just said, Initial D invented reaction culture before the Fine Bros. The anime is 90% composed of people reacting to people's awesome drifts. That's cool.
Sort of like the Dragon Ball Z games where half of the episodes just someone going,
Yeah.
So I wanted to pick a game that didn't have a remake that was in English because a lot of these games like Akami, for example. I played it on the PS3 in Japanese, but you can now buy it on PS4 in English. So I wanted to pick an exclusive still. So I've gone with a shoot 'em up, and my favorite on the PS3 was Memoruken's Curse. Memoruken's Curse is my choice. Super fun shoot 'em up if you're a fan. You can play this one. You don't need to know English. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive today, so that's the only entry barrier to this title. But super fun. I've got a video on my YouTube channel of gameplay if you want to go check it out. So,
what's the price tag on that thing?
you're looking at like 200 US plus these days.
Oh,
That much? All right.
I think it's even higher now, which is crazy.
Yeah, I got the collector's edition for that for under 100.
Oh, you're looking at like 500 for that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I could get the standard or the collector's. And I'm like, oh, the collector's edition looks pretty nice.
Yeah, Memoruken's Curse is that's another big one that the English speakers go for. But no, I love my shoot 'em ups. But we only got the one over here.
See other shoot 'em up that's popular, I think.
Ketsui?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's another one that sells well.
I want to get the new
Shoot 'em
Ketsui
ups are
on
so easy.
PS4. It's expensive.
Yeah, you don't need to know Japanese to play those ones.
No, which is the great thing about them. You just hold X and, shoot which way you want to shoot. It's nice and easy to play.
But let's mention one more here that I just really love. I got this one during a trip to Japan. I only paid $10, I think, at the time. I didn't know it was an exclusive. I just saw it and went, oh, that looks really cool. That was Rail Fan.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get the funky controller with it?
No, but I've got Densha to Go on PS2, and I've got controller for that. I don't think there is a train controller for PS3. Could be wrong.
There isn't? I thought there was. I'm talking out my ass then.
I'm not familiar with it either. Well,
I haven't seen one, if there is. Yeah. But yeah, rail sim games are fantastic. It uses live footage in gameplay. It's just kind of
just on that. I tried the Taiwan one, and you think it'd be exciting, but the 20 minutes I played was all in the subway, so it was all just pitch black.
Oh right, that's weird. Yeah,
And
well, like this one, it's got Chicago as part of it as well, but it has trains in Japan, and particularly it's got the Yamanote line, which is one of the local ones in Tokyo. Yeah, so being able to revisit that and actually drive trains on a line that is it's really fun.
That's awesome.
Google says there is a PS3 controller, Densha Day Go controller. Is it?
Oh, for PS3?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, right.
It's a video on YouTube.
Another thing to put on the list.
Another shelf to fill up.
Yeah. Well, you've been adding shit to my shopping list, so they're right back at you, Chris.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
That's
Yeah.
it's dangerous, like looking at other people's shit, because then you're like, oh god, I gotta have that now. I didn't know that existed. God damn it! Now I gotta. Fuck me. But yeah, I wanted to. What was it? What was the other game we just talked about? Not the Debtor School. Oh, the English Robot Wars. Yeah, I gotta go find one of them. I've seen the again. It's gotta have Messenger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just on that rail sim. I mean, we sort of mentioned it before, so I thought I might as well just show it while we're on it. And that's there's another couple of ones for PS4. So there's a Densha to Go VR.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I need that one.
Yeah, that looks really awesome. I haven't actually played that one.
So what do you do in these games? You just got to get the train to the next station on time?
Yeah, basically. You're just driving the train. But it's like, I don't know if you can really see there though, but just the like the scenery footage and yeah. I guess it's just, you'd have to like it, I guess, to enjoy it. I mean, not for everyone, I guess.
I appreciate the artwork of them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, this one here, the artwork on this one looks fantastic. Yeah, just Japanese rail sim.
Did you get these over there, or did you get those in the mail?
No, I haven't got these in the mail. Yeah,
I'd
apart
love
from the PS3 one.
Yeah, going to Japan's on my bucket list.
Yeah, me too. I think every collector's bucket list.
Chris,
Fortunately, it's a bit expensive now.
Do you speak Japanese? Can you get by walking around town?
Yeah, I can get by. I know enough just to ask a thing, but you can just use translator anyway. When someone starts sort of, if you need to ask something a little bit more complicated, you can just use translator.
Is the gaijin treatment stereotype, is it real, or do you find that they're nice to you?
Gaijin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you treat like a dickhead?
No, not at all. Really nice.
Mm.
Yeah. I think you occasionally go to more like offbeat sort of places that there's just no foreigners around there at all, and you might get little kids staring at you. But yeah, that's about it.
How tall are you?
Always get treated nicely.
How tall are you, Chris?
6 foot.
Yeah. I'd throw rocks at you too. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I feel very tall in Japan. I must say. Yeah, especially on trains.
I'd love to see like them lined up for trains and stuff. The etiquette over there is meant to be amazing.
Yeah, I've been in some of that thick peak hour type train traffic. You just shove it. You're getting shoved in a train, and
yes, they have guys whose job on the platform is specifically to sandwich as many people in there as humanly possible.
Push them in so the door can close.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, that's great.
I need my elbow room. I won't be taking it. I'll take an Uber.
Well, yeah, when your head's above everyone, that's okay.
Looking down on everyone.
Yeah, I'm not in anyone's armpit.
Sam, I had an interesting day garage selling yesterday. Particularly, my day ended with a bunch of video games, but I didn't think it was going to end like that. So I started at 7 o'clock. I went to 7 garage sales and found nothing. I think I picked up a couple of DVDs. Actually, I didn't find nothing. I picked up a bag of stamps for $3, but I didn't really think anything of it. I just threw it in the car. Went to the 8th garage sale. I'm chatting to the guy, and he's like, "Yeah, we got DVDs." So I'm looking through the DVDs. I picked out 20, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll spend $20." And then just before I'm about to leave, I noticed they had video games. And I said to the lady, "How much are the video games?" She's like, "Oh, they're $5 each. They're not cheap like the DVDs, because the DVDs are going to be $1 each." So I bought the DVDs, ended up buying a bunch of video games. So I got this pile for $40. So we've got The Last of Us, one of the Joel or Ellie editions, a couple of Mario Karts, a couple of Spyro games. But the interesting one was Pokemon Diamond. So I don't actually own this. Interestingly enough, it didn't actually have the game in it. So it was case only, but it did have a copy of Pokemon Ultra Moon, which funnily enough is like an $80 loose cart by itself. So I went on eBay yesterday and I bought a loose cart of Diamond for $40. So $45 for a complete copy, and then I'm going to resell the loose cart for like $80. So this is actually making me like $40, plus I get to add it to the collection, which is really cool.
Congratulations. It's a hookup, man. I think trying to think which is the big dollar Pokemon game over here. Are they pretty much the same here and there?
It's similar. It's platinum over here, and I think it would be platinum over there. But then white and white 2 and black 2 are
white.
very similar.
White is up there,
Not
and
so much they've gone up in price.
As Will would say, was in the wild.
yeah, there you go. You're
It really
you're
was
right.
in the wild.
It's the wild. Yes, I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to start cursing.
It wasn't a wild suburb too. It was rough.
All right, guys, you guys got to give me a minute. I'll be right back after this commercial break. Sorry, excuse me.
Hi, Chris. What's your plans after you've done the Vita and the PS3? Are you going to go for any more full sets or anything, or are you sort of just enjoying what you're collecting?
Yeah, I'm just still. I enjoy going after variants. I'm still just kind of chasing variants, particularly for PS3.
Yeah.
All the sort of Beijing variants, London variants. Getting into FIFA, which is a bit of a dangerous path to go down.
Just on FIFA, are you watching the World Cup in the next couple of weeks?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I'm not a fanatic. I don't stay up and watch all the games, but definitely I'll watch the Australian games at least.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing that. I'm completely revolving my sleeping schedule around the World Cup because now I'm doing eBay full time. I can, so I'm taking advantage of the lifestyle, and I'm going to work at night. So if you need to contact me, guys, I'll be awake at EU and American times in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll just watch a replay of it the next morning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, yeah, that'll do me.
What about games, Chris? What have you been playing at the moment?
Not too much. I've been busy, apart from just playing the odd games with kids. Trying to get in a bit of gaming here and there when I can. I was playing a bit of Evil Dead on PS4.
Oh yeah, nice one.
Yeah, or PS5 actually, but with the whole PS4, PS5 upgrade. Yeah, which I don't know about you, but I tend to be getting PS4 games over PS5 and just playing them.
I am as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting the PS5 version.
I was initially, but after 2020, I've sort of stopped, and I'm now getting the PS4 version because I'm finding the PS5 versions everywhere, but the PS4 copies are getting harder to find.
Yeah, I'm kind of predicting that as well. Like in years to come, it'll be, because it's at end of life, sort of.
Yep.
They'll be a lot harder to find.
But then on that, there's a couple of advantages. For one, they're backwards compatible. Like you can upgrade to the PS5 version. They're also cheaper. So yeah, I think it's
sometimes, except when you have to pay for the upgrade.
What games made you pay for the upgrade?
I can't think of it off the top of my head. I think someone in the chat might know, but it's like you have to pay an extra $10 to upgrade to the PS5 version.
Wow, I was not aware of that.
That was, yeah. It might say on the cover too that it's available, not that. It's kind of worded a little bit differently. So because it's like $10 cheaper, but you have to pay an extra $10 for the PS5 version.
Yeah, but like, what's the difference unless you're using a 4K TV? Is there really a difference?
Quality-wise, yeah, I believe so.
60 frames per second.
Well, I'm using I've got a 4K TV, so.
But if you're just using, say, like a 1080p monitor, is there really much of a difference between a PS4?
Well, you won't see anything in
60 frames per second.
See, I'm on a 1080p monitor. I haven't got 4K, so for me, I don't notice the difference. And
what? I can't believe it. You gotta have HDMI 2.1, I believe, to get the full experience for the PS5.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not. I think my TV's ready, but the bank account's not ready for the PS5 yet over here.
Yeah, I was kind of lucky enough I was due for getting a new TV when PS5 was coming out, so I just made sure that I was able to get that 2.1 compatible.
That's fair.
Yeah. which
I
was
don't even know
stupid because I was going to get a Sony TV at the time, but the Sony TV didn't have the 2.1 compatibility, which was bizarre.
What'd you end up with?
Good one, Sony. Yeah. Oh, I ended up getting a Samsung.
What's
Samsung.
the irony of that? Like, buy our new console. By the way, you can't play it on our new TV.
Yeah, because their new TV's coming out, and they'd screwed up, and they were advertising it, but it was going to be like a later patch or something. I'm not going to rely on a later patch. I want the hardware, not a software patch. So.
Figsy showed off his pickups. So I wanted to show off something I recently got. I don't usually do this, but I don't know if you guys have heard of this game. You guys know this one? This game?
Someone was just saying something about that in chat. Chaos. We'll put a Mario on my list, so I bought 3 copies.
This should be on everybody's list. Through the roof, guys. We're gonna push this one through the roof. No, but
Yeah.
I did get a couple games this weekend. It's been a minute since I've picked anything up, but it's just one in particular I wanted to show. I managed to trade this one for this one in the wild. Knights, god damn it.
Oh yeah. Knights of Azure 2.
Nice one.
Yeah, Knights of Azure 2. The bad thing is it is a Koei Tecmo game, so it's probably going to be reprinted within the month and knock the bottom out of the price of it. Just like these guys over up. What the hell's the name of that company? The Canadian company.
VG Plus.
Yeah, VG Plus. They're doing all the reprints.
Yeah.
Speaking of reprints, I heard of a new title getting reprinted. Like, the name's gone already. I seen it this morning.
Berserk, Band of the Hawk.
No, it wasn't. It was like announced today. I can't remember it. It wasn't the game we were talking about the other day either.
What?
Let me have a quick browse. I'll see if I can find it.
What are you looking at? I'll show you a pickup. Well, no, it's a delivery. I got it on Friday actually. It was pretty unique game. I'm not sure if this was released in America or not. Maybe you know. You see that?
Oh, that's good with the keyboard.
Typing.
Yeah,
of
the
dead.
keyboard pack of Typing of the Dead.
That's right. Windy Corner's name. Celeste is getting a reprint by Fangame. How cool is that? So Celeste is obviously only available on limited run games, and it's quite expensive. So now it's getting a retail release by the look of it.
You know, Figsy, you've said in the past that you think these reprints are a good thing. So it breaks down the wall, the paywall, I guess you could call it, the expense. So the average Joe can now afford these games. But you got to admit, reselling it's just the biggest part of collecting as anything else that we do, and it sucks that you got a game that you want to trade, and yesterday you could have gotten 5 games for it, but now today you can only get 1 game for it because it's just a common piece of shit. I don't want to gatekeep, PlayStation, PS4, but it's getting ridiculous with all these reprints over here in the US. And I've come to the conclusion that maybe PAL is the real way to collect, because fortunately for you guys over there and up in Europe, you guys haven't seen a slew of reprints yet. There's a bunch of companies coming out of the woodwork reprinting shit just to make a cash grab. So
even though we haven't, because the reprint's available, the average gamer isn't going to buy the expensive version. They're going to buy the cheaper version. So it is going to keep prices down overall. And I think that's a good thing. Like I'm in the position where I've got these majority of these games, so I'm in the position where my collection is going to lose value, but personally think it's a good thing. It gets more people into collecting. You know, if you want to invest in video games, go buy old video games. Don't speculate on PS4 games because they're probably going to reprint them. That's what to take out of this.
Well, it should just be clearly marked like comics, and yeah, there'd be people that do want to get that first edition. If you know what the first edition is, like comics, but there might be other people who are like, well, I'm okay with a second edition, just because I want the game.
A lot of these reprints, though,
But the first edition should hold its value.
Well, with the PS3 reprints we recently saw, there's obvious differences, but I don't think with these.
That's what I think.
With these later reprints, you're going to be able to tell the difference. Now they're not going to differentiate between first and second prints, and it's just going to across the board just fuck it.
Yeah, it's a real shame.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I almost disagree on that because I don't think in terms of modern gaming, people care as much for the reprints. There's a few reasons behind that, and that is like for one, PS4 games don't even have manuals, you know, so like it's just literally just the case on a disc. Like, you know,
some of them do have manuals, the fancier ones.
I know, but a lot of them out there don't. Like, you look back on an NES Mario title back in the day, there's so much that actually went into that. It's not just a game, it's just like a piece of art. Even some PS2 and PS3 games out there, it's art what you're buying, especially some of the limited editions and some of the Japanese games in particular. You don't just get a manual, you get inserts, and sometimes they'll have extras in the game as well, and it's quite heavy, and you feel like you're getting something. And I'll just go back to Celeste. Celeste is an interesting example. So Celeste was done by Limited Run Games. Now we all know the story here, but Celeste was a really popular game. However, Limited Run got a hold of Celeste quite early, and they printed and sold their copies, blah, blah, blah. You fast forward a few years, so many people have found out about this, and that's what's pushed the price of Celeste so high. It's not an old game. It only came out a few years ago. Like, you shouldn't have to go and pay hundreds of dollars just to get a physical copy of a game that was made in 2016. You know, like, that shouldn't be a thing. And I think it's fantastic that you can now go and buy it for retail price.
Is Celeste, is it a good game?
Yeah, Celeste is meant to be, I haven't played it, but it's meant to be an amazing title. Salt and Sanctuary is another good example. Salt and Sanctuary is a Dark Souls clone. It was one of the most popular digital-only games. Limited Run printed it, but they did it a few years ago. Dark Souls has since had Elden Ring come out. There's so much more popularity in the series. People want to play Salt and Sanctuary. You either buy it digitally or you're paying like $200 for a physical copy. I hope a company get a hold of that and reprint that as well, because, you know, people should be able to go and buy games that they want to play for retail price.
Man, let them buy it digitally. They leave the old school shit alone. Or once it's printed and put out, fine. If you want to play it cheap, buy a digital copy. That's how I feel. Because again, buying and reselling, it's a big part of this hobby of ours. I
agree with it.
But there's another one of my hot takes. We'll see how this one goes.
Because of that, Will, like, people get greedy, and then like we can point out so many different parts of the industry that, you know, because reselling is a big thing, you know, they reprint games and they don't tell you it's a reprint. Or look at the grading market, for example. Like, I remember when I first started collecting, it was all about games. People made trades, didn't care about the values. Like, it was all about getting cool games that we wanted to play for good. It wasn't even about the prices. Like, I don't remember ever looking at my collection and thinking, wow, that's worth a lot of money. I just used to think of it like, I've got a lot of cool games. And it hit a point, 2019, 2020, investors realized that they can make something with video games, and it changed. Like, it's not the same as it was in 2013, 2014, 2015. And I don't like that.
Is your collection insured?
Yeah. But I've got house and contents insurance, so it's part of that.
How about you, Chris? Is your collection insured?
Just house and contents insurance.
I gotcha. All right. My collection is not big enough. I'm not insuring it, so I was just wondering. But yeah, there's some value in it, Pixie, and I don't know. That's why you insured it, in case fucking fire happens, everything goes up. So I do think you're not letting it all. You're not as what's the word I'm looking. You care about you got to care about the value of your games at some point.
Yeah, 100%. Like, to me, I'd be upset if my games were worth way less than what I paid for them, because I feel silly about that, and that's not the case. Like, it's actually the opposite, and it's the opposite to an extreme that, I don't think is good, because I don't think the market could sustain this growth over time. Like, it's to the fact that young people are into video games. It's very hard for young people to start building a big collection today.
I don't think. I mean, young. I don't know how many new people are getting into this hobby, physical collecting. It's gonna take a minute for the age gap to catch up until these people have disposable incomes and start feeling nostalgia. So PS4 isn't even there yet. PS3 is getting there. It's PS3 is on the rise, I should say. It's I don't think it's peaked yet, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not the reprinting bullshit. I'm not here for it, and I think you guys in the PAL territories have the advantage because you don't have to deal with all this bullshit.
For now, I think it'll only be a matter of time, because there's money involved. If there's money involved, someone will be like, "Oh, I can get an opportunity. I'll do it," and it's going to happen, because you're seeing it in America. There's not just one company; it's multiple companies reprinting games. So it's going to happen in the PAL region. It's just a matter of when, or rather than if.
Yeah, well, look at all the fake Game Boy games that are circulating out there. And that's more of an NTSC problem as well. Like, you get fake power ones, but again, they just they must have saw that as an opportunity in America.
Yeah, they did. Especially the Pokemon DS and 3DS games. It's fucking.
Some of them are very clearly fakes, but some of them are quite hard to spot unless you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, you might be aware of this, but over here, majority of fakes are actually all American games.
Yeah, generally, you get a bit cautious if you see an American game for sale. You think, that could be a fake straight away.
And on the flip side, a lot of these scammers on Facebook and OfferUp and these online, you could tell they're scamming because all the games in there have PAL. You can tell they're scamming because all the games have PAL age restrictions on them. It's weird because they steal the pictures from some PAL. I guess they toss them up. Yeah, it's just a thing.
Can I ask you guys a question? So I was having a chat with one of my friends this week about PS5 games, and in particular the price of them. And we were in disagreement that I think PS5 games in the future are going to be like PS3 and 4 games, or we're going to see new games in the $5 and $10 bin. And he didn't think it was going to go that way. So what do you guys think? Do you think we're in a different type of market where video games aren't going to be cheap in the future, or do you think it'll continue like that?
I already see PS5 games in the secondhand bin, like in eBay Games.
Yeah.
Let's say the game in particular, like Demon's Souls, Returnal, like very good games, exclusives that are holding their value. I see them being $20, $10 games in the future.
Well, this
For the fact that you have like 1 million of these sold, 100,000 sold in a country.
this Christmas, I think what the hell's the game? Elden Ring's going for $35 already. Black Friday, I believe, and I think it's going to stay there. And only have they made a greatest hits line for PS5 yet?
I haven't seen one, but we will see one. The difference with Elden Ring compared to those two titles I just mentioned, though, is Elden Ring isn't an exclusive, where Returnal and Demon Souls are both exclusive. So there is quite an appeal to buying those titles as well.
No, I think they're gonna want. There's always gonna be a bargain bin, and they're eventually gonna.
And he's in chat. He's like, this argument was with me. Screw you, Figsy.
Yeah, I think it'd be PS4, to be honest. Some games will hold their value, but others will. Really popular ones, you'll see them cheap.
Yeah, the bargain. They're all relegated to the bargain bin at some point or another. If you think about it, even the most popular and most high dollar games, at some point, someone's bought them in a bargain bin at one point, and it's just the way it is. It's just inventory to a store. They don't see it that way.
Can I ask you a question on that argument, Will? Why doesn't that happen with first party Nintendo games?
Fucking Nintendo, because the cult of Nintendo is a fucking bunch of weird freaks, and they'll buy a fucking piece of shit with even blazing Mario on it. That's why.
I seen something this morning and it annoyed me. I just seen a Black Friday sale, and they advertised on sale Black Friday Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, $69. That's the Black Friday price of a game that came out in fucking 2016. Like, I like collecting Nintendo, but I absolutely hate the fact that they don't discount their games. Like, what gives you, like, put it $30. Let people play it.
Yeah,
people are missing out, or they're illegally playing them. Like,
it's publishers driving that as well. Like Sedesco is a popular one to just drop the prices on all their games. So you always see them on sale.
I love that, half price, and it's on games that haven't been out for that long, and it's because they want people to play the games.
That's right. Just all of a sudden you're seeing these $9 games. You think, I'll give that a go for $9.
And Nintendo, their stuff tends to hold, especially the first party games. They know people are going to buy it, and
even secondhand, you're thinking, it's $50. Oh, that's a bargain. May as well pick it up for $50.
Grandmas everywhere know to get grandmas everywhere know to buy Zelda or Mario. So they're not gonna. It's just it's a brand. It's a good brand, and it's been around forever. So people are gonna buy it no matter what kind of price you put on it.
I would be interested in knowing the exact profit that Nintendo get on every Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. I've heard that Nintendo cuts cost more than discs to make. I know you can print a disc for less than $1, but surely they're making 70-80% profit on these games, or
it can't be that.
400-500%. Sorry, but it would be crazy.
Yeah, I have no idea what it costs to make one of those little
not sure
cartridges.
Things like SD cards and stuff aren't that expensive to make and buy these days. So I know there's more tech in it than that, but sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. It can't be more than $5 or $10. I'd assume Nintendo would be similar to Apple, where they wouldn't sell games to stores with much profit in them, so stores can't lower their prices. Because you see stores lowering Xbox and PS4 prices like crazy. You don't see that with Nintendo games.
No, Nintendo don't allow it.
Yeah, they say that's on Nintendo's, and they put a tight leash on that shit. Greedy bastards. I don't know, litigious, greedy bastards.
I got once from Nintendo. One of my that video that I was talking about with the Game Boy, it had because I was demonstrating. I put Kirby in the Game Boy, so I played a little bit of Kirby. So I got an email from Nintendo
Oh my
saying
God.
that I was to cease monetizing that video.
We're
'Cause
going to get an email on this podcast.
that 20 cents is their money, not mine.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah, so some kid he made his own Mario costume for Halloween, and he took a picture of it and he sent it to Nintendo to show him, and he got a cease and desist in the mail from Nintendo. It's the kind of bullshit they do. There was this is for reals though. There was like some sort of go-kart racetrack, and they were marketing themselves as like what's that, Mario Kart. You know, all the cars were painted up Mario style and this, that, and the other. Yeah, they got shut down quick. Nintendo is a fucking jealous bitch. They don't fuck around. It's weird. Anyway, too much Nintendo talk.
Similar to Disney, though. It's basically the same.
Oh, they're just protecting their brand.
It's overkill.
Winnie Corner TV was saying, I'm not a fan of Nintendo's price gouging, but shops receive a tiny cut from all new games from every publisher, not just Nintendo.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the big price drops are from the publisher saying, drop the prices on these games. A lot of the times it's not. And the store will get money back from the publisher.
Okay, that's interesting. So, like, for example, when Battlefield 1942 or 2042 went to like $10, the retail shops wouldn't have been losing money. It would have been DICE who took that cut.
Yeah, they'd make a claim with that company, I believe.
That makes a lot of sense why games are discounted like they are. That actually explains it a real lot.
Yeah, like the Sodesco ones. They usually just go, right, all our games are half price or something like that. Yeah.
So you probably find if you go to their warehouse, they have the sales on the warehouse first, and then you find like the retail shops would go after that. So it'd be like a good way to follow trends, to follow things
Maybe.
like that.
Yeah, that's probably not 100% true for all those discounts that you see, but I know it plays a part in it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right, actually, 100%.
All right, gentlemen. Well, I'm going to wish you guys a good night. Are we at the 2-hour mark yet?
Yeah, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Time flies when you're having fun. Talking rant. I'm getting angry talking about
Chris, it was a pleasure having you on.
It's great.
I'm going to sign off here. So, Figsy,
I think we'll call it a night, Will. It's about
right.
that time. It's been an absolute pleasure, Chris. And
Yeah,
if you guys haven't already, be sure to go check out Chris's Instagram. You can find that link in the description. And if you're ever going to do YouTube content, Chris, I'm sure you'll let us know on the Instagram. So,
yeah, definitely. I've been meaning to get in and do the whole gaming series, and still do some of my unboxing videos, which they're just fun to make. But yeah, it'll happen.
Well, plug the YouTube channel, the toy channel, because I want to check it out.
Yeah, toys and stuff.
Letter N
with an N, like
TOYS and stuff. All right, toys and stuff. Cool. Well, I'm gonna throw it on.
There's a couple of gaming videos on there, but generally, I think most people think, "Oh, what the hell's all this?" But yeah, it's mainly for kids. But
we'll leave your amazing collection up to end the show because I could look at this for days.
You get a nice reaction when people walk into the room.
Oh, it's beautiful, Chris. Especially the white too, because most people have the black shell, so it's nice to see the color disparity with the white. And thanks again for coming on the show, Chris, and everyone in chat for watching. It's been a pleasure, Will. And we won't actually have a show on Thursday, Friday, guys, for Thanksgiving, but be sure to tune in next Sunday. We have Rasmus from Denmark coming on the show, so it should be really exciting.
Good God, Rasmus. All right. Good night, everybody. Good night, Chris. Good night, Figsy. Good night, everybody in chat.
Peace,
Okay.
guys.